Welcome back, boys and girls. It is the final week of the 10th season of the Carla and Crappy Show. I am Crappy. I'm in Pittsburgh. There's no snow on the ground in Pittsburgh, by the way. This is Carla. She's
Hi.
in Nashville. Carla, how's your weather?
It's snowing like crazy. We're snowed in. Yeah.
This is crap, frankly.
It's backwards. Yeah. I tell everybody every year I move south to get rid of this crap. I know. It's
the snow follows the Erie lady down south.
Yes. No, actually, I mean, it's not bad because we don't get these very often. So, we don't have anywhere to go. We made our last kind of run out for things because, I mean, Nashville, when you get snow, you ain't going anywhere for a while. Because there's no salt. That's I tell everybody it moves south. Everybody makes fun of Southern drivers. Like, we don't have salt. We don't have plows.
Yes.
Like, it makes things tricky. So even me as a Northern driver, I wouldn't go out and drive in this because the roads are terrible because they don't have enough stuff to help clear the roads out. So it's fine. But yeah, so we're going to be here until Saturday. We're recording this on Thursday. We're going to be snowed in until Saturday. It's supposed to be almost 50 on Saturday, so everything will go away. But yeah, we're snowed in for 2 days. And we had snow on Sunday night. We had like a good 1.5 to 2 inches on Sunday night. So this is 2 snow events in 1 week. That never happens.
This is totally not fair. Although in Pittsburgh's defense, we're supposed to get like 1 inch or maybe 2 tonight. So we'll see. That's not enough to pose any real problems here. But
this storm is overachieving though, so you might get more than 1 inch because we were only forecasted to get two inches, and as the day has gone on, they've now increased that to 6. So the storm was overachieving.
I will be very disappointed if Nashville gets 6 inches of snow and Pittsburgh gets 1. But just for the record, but that's okay. That is not why we're here. We are here to talk about the final college football game of the season. The event that I have come to believe is the actual official end of the holiday season overall, the national championship game. But as we do, we will take a quick look back before we look ahead to Monday night's game. And that means, I mean, there's a lot of places we could go, but New Year's Day is the traditional day for everyone to overdose on bowl games. What did you see? Whether it's New Year's Day game, New Year's Six game, one of the semifinals. What did you see that stuck out for you?
There are three kind of quick things. I don't have deep analysis on any of them.
Yeah, that's fine.
But 2 of them were on the 30th. And I know this wasn't a New Year's Six bowl, but it happened right before New Year's Six bowl, so I'm going to count it. The Music City Bowl was off the rails.
Yes, that one of the most entertaining bowl games of the season.
Yes, absolutely.
One of the most entertaining games of the season.
Yeah, it was completely off the rails. Fit Nashville perfectly. Just the commentary and if you do the double screen experience and you're watching it on TV and also watching on Twitter at the same time, I mean, it was just probably one of the most fun hours of that entire week. So much so that I posted on my Twitter account that the Music City Bowl was so far off the rails that ESPN actually started the New Year's Six Bowl on the alternate channel, which never happens.
No, that's awesome.
That was probably the moment of like brightest joy during the bowl season. The second, a very close second to that would be the second quarter of the Rose Bowl. I saw a lot of people when it was like touchdown. I saw a lot of people saying, Music City Bowl, top this, Rose Bowl second quarter, hold my beer. That was a good meme for a while. So that was wildly entertaining and a little bit bonkers, and which was good because we hadn't had a ton of good New Year's Six bowls ahead of that. So it was nice to kind of see that one get entertaining. And then the second half of that game, I mean, I'm sure you have lots of thoughts about it, but it wasn't as entertaining as the second quarter was.
I would disagree, but I'm perhaps coming at this from a different point of view.
Right. Yes. And I have to hang my hat. I have to tip my hat, and this will never ever happen again. So enjoy this while it lasts. I have to tip my hat to Pitt.
Okay.
Because we said there was no chance they were going to win that bowl game, and they went out there with their third string quarterback, and almost won the darn thing.
Yeah.
That's an effort.
Mhm.
That's a team that played hard in a New Year's Six bowl game. It was the exact opposite of the Music City Bowl that
Right.
immediately preceded it. So it wasn't really all that entertaining. But man, I kept looking at that score, going, is Pitt going to screw around and win this game? They didn't, but what an effort.
Yeah, absolutely. It was entertaining, maybe not in the same way, but it was a tight game. Certainly, I mean, it's sort of an eye opener for me. I admit to being dismissive of Pitt. And this year, my thing was, well, I mean, it's Kenny Pickett, and that's what they have to offer. I did talk about defensive line, and I talk about wide receivers, but you get a sense in that game that the Panthers are more than their quarterback. So they're in decent shape to start things off next fall, if we look ahead that far. So yeah, I was impressed by Pitt as well. I know we all kind of cackled with the idea of Pitt versus a Big Ten East team. And the game turned out, the final was kind of what we expected, but the path to get there was very different than what we all expected. I enjoyed the second half of the Rose Bowl a lot. Actually, that's the first half of the Rose Bowl. The second quarter was nuts. The background of that is my mother, at least twice in the first half, just saying, I quit. I'm not watching this anymore, and stomping out of the family room to go away for a little while. But she came back. And at halftime, my father was just like, we're going to win. We're going to win this game. Okay. I could see that. And then, at the end of the game rolls around, and there's a game-winning field goal, and CJ Stroud has 573 yards passing, 6 touchdowns. Jackson Smith-Njigba has 347 yards receiving. He had 3 TDs. Marvin Harrison had three TD catches. Marvin Harrison Jr. I should make that clear. There was enough of a running game going in the second half that it was effective, and I think Trayvon Henderson ended with 80 and change rushing. So yeah, that was also helpful, although it took a long time to get that established. To hear Ryan Day tell it, a lot of this was sort of in attention, and perhaps the leaders of the team corrected that at halftime. I don't know if that's the case or not. Clearly, there is stuff that needs to be addressed on the defensive side. Although I would point out that Ohio State held Utah to 10 points in the second half. But some of that's due to injuries, I'm sure. But so there's life there. And Jim Knowles, who is an OSU guy, as in Oklahoma State, has arrived in Columbus, and he will be the new defensive coordinator for Buckeyes. Clearly, we needed a kind of a fresh face to take a look at what's going on and make sense of things. And so really curious to see what Knowles is going to do and what his system's going to look like. We'll find that out in the spring, which is not terribly far away. There's one more thing we have to take care of before we get to the championship game. And this is prompted by Aiden, who has been on the show a couple of times. He's been our, to this point, he has been our youngest guest picker on the show. He was concerned, according to his mother, about standings and how he would look and where he came in. And Carly, we don't pay a whole lot of attention to what we actually got right and wrong. Correct?
That's very true. Yes.
It's sort of,
unless we have something very, very wrong, and then we kind of laugh about it and go, "Whoa, I was off on that one."
We do that. We do that a lot.
Yes.
It's especially me. But what I said, just to kind of, and out of curiosity, this is Bowlapalooza is a good time to do this. You go back and you tally up everyone's picks and compare them to what happened with the games, and let's see how they turned out. Aiden, I'm going to speak to you directly because I assume you will be listening to this show with your mom at some point before Monday. You had a couple games that you picked correctly that nobody else did. Or very few people did. So you should be proud about that. You should be proud about your total, which I will get to in just a moment. Here are sort of the parameters that I was looking at. I did not include the Sun Bowl, which was Aiden's bowl game to review. And that is because there was a different team than the ones that we picked. So COVID kind of got us there. I did not include me because as I went back and listened to the show to write down the picks,
you missed a lot of them.
There were at least 3 games that I did not pick at all.
Yeah.
In just kind of the chaos of it was fun. Guys, go if you haven't listened to Bowlapalooza, go back and listen because it's really good show. But I just forgot I didn't make a pick. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I didn't make a pick. So I'm not included in this. And that's probably just as well because there were several that I was wrong about. So we don't have like official totals here. I'm not going to do this game by game, but Carla.
Yes.
You, AJ, and Jake. I don't want to say lost because there are no losers in Bowlapalooza. You guys each had 4 correct picks. Of the 9 games that we ended up picking. Aiden has not fallen far from the tree. Kelly, Aiden's mother, and Aiden both had 5 correct picks for Bowlapalooza. So Aiden, you're not going to be able to hold that over your mother's head for the entire off season, and I'm sure Kelly's going to be happy about that. But take pride in what you accomplished. You had a very, very good set of picks there. So excellent work. He is a professional, after all. Nubias had 6 correct picks. And then the one of us who, with almost every single pick she made, almost every single time, she said something like, well, I don't know college football real well. I don't know who these teams are. I think their uniforms look nice. It's Gabby had 7 correct picks. So, Gabby, I don't want to hear it. I mean, if we're going to get you back on Bowlapalooza next year, I don't want to hear any garbage about I don't know what college football. I don't know what's going on because it's clearly not true. And I will the next time I see you, I will buy the chili dogs. So congratulations to Gabby Biltz, our first ever unofficial Bowlapalooza pick winner for whatever that is. And that's worth probably 2 chili dogs and some chili cheese fries. I think that's what that's going to be. Carla, we have 1 game left.
We do.
This is going to happen at 8 on Monday. The broadcast will start at 8 on Monday. There's generally some preliminary stuff in Ohio State's favorite home away from home, Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Number 1, Alabama versus number 3, Georgia. The Bulldogs are favored by 3. Stop me if you've heard this before. The AJ Fun Index is middle of the road 52, and then just as a bonus kind of thing here, the ESPN matchup predictor is in favor of Georgia by roughly a 60-40 margin. So there's a lot of buy-in about Georgia's second crack at Alabama in 2 games. I'm not sure if I'm part of that. I don't know what Carla you think about that. But before we do that, I mentioned that Aiden was to this point the youngest guest picker on the Carly Crappy Show of all time. We're about to change that. And guys, through the magic of video editing, you will see that this, if you're listening, if you're watching, you will see this sort of change a little bit. It is very important that you actually watch this part of the segment, because although we describe what's going on, the visual is what is really going on here. So let's throw it to me and Carla and Ellie, who is going to make the first pick of the national championship game. Let's go take a look at that. Carla, explain to me how you have this set up here.
Sure, this is gonna be a little bit fun with my camera here, but I'm gonna tilt this down. And so there's Ellie.
There she is,
hanging out on her mat, and we took
looking at mom.
Hi. Mom. Say hi. Say hi. Once she makes her pick, I'll turn the camera the other way so everybody can kind of see her.
Okay, so she is her name is not actually Gaga, no matter what it says on the thing there.
Right. So those are the championship logos. We have a red key, so we decided to make 1 and 3 Georgia, and we have an elephant over here on the green. And so 2 and 4 Alabama, and I'm going to push her a little closer so she can actually reach the keys, and we'll see where she puts her first foot, and it'll light up, and that'll be who's going to win.
Okay.
Ready?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go.
This is your big moment, Ellie. What you going to do? There it is. That
got a red.
That could not be more clear. She's gone back to the A a little bit, but multiple times, and like right off the bat, that was in fact decisive.
It was very decisive.
Ellie, it is awesome to see you live on the Carla and Crappy show.
Yep. Here, let me pull you down.
Okay, we're gonna let. There she is. There she is. Yeah, she just like the camera, whatever. I'm looking at mom.
Yeah.
I'm looking at mom. Hi,
yeah,
Mom.
she's like, I'm very confused.
Bink. This is awesome. Okay, so there's our first pick. We're gonna let Carla do magic mom stuff, and then we will come back to their regular spots, and we will complete the whole season. We will complete the whole season. So we will be back in just a moment. Ellie, thank you. As I said, Carla, she has her mind made up, right?
Very much so, on a lot of things, as it seems.
Well, okay, that's fair. But as far as this game goes, the little foot keyboard does not lie, and she has definitively gone with the Bulldogs. Mom, what do you think about this game?
Well, this probably won't be the first time that I disagree with my daughter.
Oh man.
I'm on the fence on this one because you have the one hand that says what we talked about last week during the New Year's Six show and during Bowlapalooza, that it's super hard to beat a team twice in the same year. Yes. And that's what we're faced with. And not only within the same year, within the same, 4 weeks? Mm-hmm. Really? So yeah, there's a part of me that says this is an uphill battle for Alabama, but you look at what they've done, right? In the last meeting, when they met for the SEC title, what was Alabama's key to success? Bryce Young avoided that pass rush, which is deadly from Georgia, but he was elusive and managed to avoid that pass rush and was able to get some deep passes. 2 of Alabama's touchdowns were a 67-yard touchdown pass and a 55-yard touchdown pass. And then the Alabama defense forced the Georgia offense into mistakes. And it was kind of that pick 6 in the second half that really kind of sealed the deal for Alabama. And I love what Saban said after that game. I went back and was reading some of the notes from that first matchup from the title game that said, "You guys gave us a lot of positive rat poison." Yummy rat poison was the quote. And I was watching that again this morning.
Yeah. And yeah, guilty, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, me too. And here we are sitting here again in essentially the exact same scenario, right? Georgia was favored the last time. And everybody was picking Georgia to beat Alabama. And now we're entering this game and Georgia's favored again. And popular opinion says Georgia's going to win this game. And we all know how absolutely ridiculous it is when Saban gets to play the underdog card.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this time and time and time again. If anybody knows how to milk that underdog card, it's Saban and the Tide.
Mm-hmm.
And Bama looked absolutely business against Cincinnati. Yeah. It wasn't a flashy win. No. They did what, it was like they put their lunch boxes on the sideline. They went out, they did what they needed to do. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't necessarily pretty, but it was a solid win. Mm-hmm. Georgia kind of did the same thing, to be honest, with Michigan, to an extent. I mean, the big difference in Georgia's win over Michigan, even though Michigan has a huge pass rush, and how they were able to kind of avoid that from Michigan, was because Michigan can't throw the ball deep, right? That's the difference between Alabama and Michigan. Yeah. So I have 3 questions entering this game, and they're very similar to the 3 questions I had at the last time. Mm-hmm. Can the Georgia defensive line get any pressure on Bryce Young? Any pressure at all? And kind of, they have to. Mm-hmm. But are they going to be able to do it? Secondly, can the secondary help prevent the deep ball from happening?
Yeah.
Or at least slow it down. Mm-hmm. Like, again, that wasn't a problem against Michigan. They didn't see deep passes from Michigan, because that's not the way Michigan plays football. Will they be able to solve that problem this time? And 3, can Stetson Bennett and the Georgia offense avoid making that mistake?
Yes.
Right. Because it was that pick 6 that really kind of sealed the deal last time go around. I really want Georgia to win this game. I really, really want Georgia to win this game. Uh-huh. They're the more complete team. Mm-hmm. I think they've played as the more complete team. Alabama was sloppy at the end of the season, but the challenge is even a sloppy Alabama is better than most of the SEC. Which is a challenge. I really, really want Georgia to win this game. But like we talked last week, until somebody gives me a reason to pick against Alabama, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
here we are.
Here we are. I think this game is closer. I absolutely think this game will be closer than the SEC title game. I think Georgia kind of knew that they were in the playoff one way or the other, and just weren't quite as sharp as they needed to be. But will a sharp Georgia beat an Alabama that's playing the underdog card?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. Alabama.
Interesting thing. It is a conversation with my mother-in-law while she was here over the holidays. Her husband is a big Alabama fan, and pretty serious about it. And he has not enjoyed this season. He has noticed inconsistency. He has noticed kind of occasionally playing down to the competition. He's noticed
see Auburn.
He has noticed just kind of general sloppiness. He's mad at Saban, and he's mad at the whole team. And my mother-in-law says he typically will just stomp out of the room at the second half or at halftime and just like I don't want to deal with it. And that's fair. That's a pretty good description of what Alabama was this whole season. I mean, they're Alabama. They're more talented than anybody. They are probably better coached than anybody. But that was during the regular season. That was not an especially impressive year for the Tide. And then they got to the SEC title game, and all of that stuff, whether it's a lack of motivation, whether it's inattention, it all went away for one game. I agree with your assessment that Georgia is the more complete team. And I really thought Georgia was going to win that one when we talked about it going in. Nope. Underdog card, certainly yummy rat poison, whatever you want to call it. Nick Saban had his team's full attention for that game. I think he had his team's full attention for the semifinal game against Cincy. I am certain he will have his team's full attention again as an underdog in the national title game. Georgia, my gut is telling me to pick Georgia, right? They dismantled Michigan. They looked motivated. They looked very clearly like they were what we are going to handle this team and do it decisively. And we will be ready for the title game, and we know it's going to be Alabama, and that's fine. That's what we want. I think they can beat Alabama. Stetson Bennett, it has been a much better quarterback than I gave him credit for last year, and this year as well. But he's still, I mean, Kirby, go get a real quarterback. I mean, if you had a world-class offense to go with your world-class defense, we would already be talking about you winning multiple titles. So there's Kirby Smart's homework in the offseason.
Don't mind that transfer portal. There's a bunch of them sitting in there.
Yep. Go do it. However you can do it these days. I like you. I really want Georgia to win. But as I said last week, these are the situations where Nick Saban is at his best. And when Nick Saban is at his best, his team is at its best. So hoping for some kind of funky thing to happen in the fourth quarter, hoping for a tight game and maybe a weird bounce and Georgia is able to pull this out. But if I'm making a pick, I don't have a reason to pick against Alabama until I do. And I got to pick Alabama. So that is perhaps not the most exciting thing we can do, but yeah, that's how it looks. Boys and girls, you can hear the Carla and Crappy Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, TuneIn, and a variety of other podcasting hosts. You can watch us, and I urge you to do that this week on YouTube, on the show's Facebook page. If you like us, please subscribe, rate, and review. If you don't, mind your own damn business. Be sure to come back next fall. When I'm going to be beside myself because Ohio State opens with Notre Dame and Columbus. And yeah, that's going to be fun.
We're hitting season 11 with the ground running, huh?
Yeah. No rest. Let's just go for it. There might even be a summertime show. I don't know. Those have been fun to do.
They have.
But yeah, guys, it's been it has been an odd season. For different reasons, but for the second year in a row. I don't have the list in front of me, but I want to thank everyone who helped, filling in for 1 week, joining us for Bowlapalooza. AJ, of course, our Ken Jennings and guest host. We call him guest host emeritus now? Is that, I don't know. You're interim
co-host emeritus.
Interim co-host emeritus. I mean, you're the academic here. If that makes sense, then we can go with that.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I should put that in the credits at the end. Obviously, AJ gets a big thank you. Yes. Thank you to David, who has juggled schedules and watched little babies while Carla is taping with me. Thanks to Ellie for making this an interesting season and finally appearing live on the show.
Yes.
And Carla, thank you again. It's been a blast.
It has, even though I feel like it's all a whirlwind to me. It's like right? All of a sudden it's like, wait, it's January? How'd that happen? Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, but it's been fun. And like, I keep saying this, like, this is now the third season in a row that we've had like disruptions during the college football season between, moving into the new house and then the pandemic and then baby. Here's hoping for a quieter 2022.
I'd be good with it. I'd be okay. Just
fingers crossed.
Kind of normal show schedule, and it's going to be. I'm going to be a mess because Ohio State's home schedule is ridiculous, and I'm going to like 3 games that will all be nationally televised and blah 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 blah. But that is stuff that we can tackle next fall. as we said, we're taping this Thursday afternoon. I don't think either one of us have a beer. I have a glass of water because that's
me too.
Sweet. There we go. Doing the normal workday thing. So, guys, enjoy the national championship game. Enjoy the whatever relaxation you get in the off season. I am looking forward to Olympic hockey. If you're watching, you can see that. Hopefully that's going to take place again. We have no idea.
We have no idea.
But there's hockey and there's basketball and then there's baseball. And then we'll be back, whether it's late summer or sometime before the beginning of September to probably do this all over again.
Because we're crazy like that.
Why not? I mean, why not?
We've done this for a decade now. Why not one more year?
Why not? Carla, thank you very much once again. It has been a lovely season.
Yep. Thanks to you as always.
Cheers to you. And guys, cheers to you as well for watching. We will see you back here later this year. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.